It's been 1 year since the federal government of Nigeria announced the domestic dollar bond investment, and I believe that by now the investors in that instrument must have received their first 2 coupons for the first year. Is that correct? Is it? Please let me know below if you invested. Hello everyone, my name is Flo. I am the class prefect of this community, the Flow Finance community, where we talk about money matters that concern us as investors in Nigeria, that is. If you recently stumbled on this channel, please let me know below. We need to, direct you to the starting point. On this channel, you hear about my experiences investing in Nigeria since 19 That means I am not your financial advisor. I am not a stockbroker. I don't run any investment schemes. Yeah, contrary to popular belief, I am just sharing my knowledge. A lot of people say that they learn from my knowledge, which is fine. It's subtle teaching, but I do not tell you what to do. I give you fish so that you know how to start fishing on your own, all right? So on this channel, I upload lots of information via videos, and I hold boot camps for those who need more information, for those who need more help. If they feel overwhelmed from the videos that I upload on this channel, sometimes when we make videos here, some people will be lost. If that's you, let me know so that I'll point you in the right direction where to start. Let me know specifically what you want to learn about, the instrument you want to learn about, and I can point you in that direction so that you learn from my wealth of experience. I need to make a video about how we did all these things during the analog era. When people complain about this, what they have to do, you have to do this, sign up with this, guys, yes, I say, you need to have lived in the analog era. I don't belong to any political party. I am just an investor like you. On this channel, while sharing my experiences investing in Nigeria and my knowledge, the knowledge I've gathered all through the years, I share facts. These facts are based on rock solid data that you will see yourself, and I share opinions. One promise I'm making you on this channel is that my opinions are always from the point of view of an investor. I am not for any company or any establishment. All I care about is that the establishment or the company that I'm investing in is giving me realistic returns. Here we're not talking about Ponzi schemes. They're giving me realistic returns on my investments. That I'm praising you today, polishing you, clapping for you, rounding of applause for you today does not mean that I've not got my eyes on my investments that I hold with your company. So that any day you misstep, I take my money and japa. With all that said, it's been 1 year since the FGN, Federal Government of Nigeria, invited us to invest in the domestic dollar bond. And today we're here to call results. The people that are investing in dollars and the people that are invested in Naira, who is winning? Because, if you have been a strong member of this community, you will know that there's always a running theme. There's always people that come here and tell us, don't invest in Naira, this and that, invest only in dollars. Anyway, today we're going to call result with 2 examples that we have seen play out on this channel. The dollar bond came out on August 19, 2024, and they offered an interest rate of 9.75%. Start date for the subscription back then was on August 19, 2024. End date August 30, 2024, and settlement date was on September 6, 2024. Since the coupon for this investment is paid twice a year, the first coupon must have been paid on the 6th of March 2025, and the second coupon must have been paid on the 6th of September 2025. Is this the case? I've never actually met someone that invested in this domestic dollar bond, even though that they were saying that it was oversubscribed, but I've never met one person. So if you invested in this dollar bond, please, can you let us know what is going on? You are now our eyes and ears into this bond. Please let us know what is going on below. If you don't want to say it out in the open, you can send me an email, and be fast about the email because, we need to give update to the community. Now, let's plug these numbers into our spreadsheet. Investment amount, $10,000. That was the minimum amount back then. Interest rate offered, 9.75%. You will get a yearly earning of $975 based on that interest rate. Investors in this bond would have earned the first coupon of $487.50 on the 6th of March 2025 and the second coupon on the 6th of September 2025. I'm curious, were they spot on with paying on these dates? Because, with FGN savings bond, we already know that sometimes they delay by 1 day or 2 days. Yeah. So I want to know, I'm curious, do they stick to the dates? Continuing, the domestic dollar bond is tax exempt. So this is the amount you'll get in your bank account. It may vary a bit if they delayed by 1 or 2 days because, at the end of the day, the interest for these kinds of investments are calculated on a day-by-day basis. That's it for the domestic dollar bond earnings because it's just 2 coupons. Now, assuming that when the domestic dollar bond came out and you did your calculations, that's what we usually do when these instruments come out, isn't it? So you pressed your calculator and like me, remember I made a video about it back then, like me, you felt that this 9.75 interest rate was disappointing, so you didn't invest. You prefer to keep your money. FGN savings bond investment opportunities come up every month, so some people held on to their $10,000 and decided to invest in FGN savings bond instead. That September 2024 edition of the FGN savings bond was supposed to be announced on the 2nd of September 2024, which was the first Monday of the month, but they missed it. That was the one that they skipped and everybody was like, what's going on? And they didn't tell us anything. They instead announced it on the second Monday. But assuming that you wanted to invest in FGN savings bond, the September 2024 edition, by the 2nd, you should have had your money in Naira ready, like assuming you had dollars in Naira or you want to invest from outside Nigeria. By that 2nd, you must have converted your dollars or foreign currency, any foreign currency you're investing. But of course, we're using dollars here because the domestic dollar bond was quoted in dollars. So you must have had it ready, waiting for the offer for subscription announcement, right? So we have that $1 was 1,589 Naira 5 kobo on that day. I'm using exchangerate.org for this historical data. I wanted to use Google for that, but I couldn't zoom into the 2nd of September. It kept jumping from August 30 to September 6th. Anyway, as long as I use exchangerate.org for all conversions in this video, that should be fair enough, I guess. So we plug the values into our spreadsheet. Investment amount to the nearest 1,000 because FGN savings bond investment amounts must be a multiple of 1,000. So we have that you would have invested 15,890,000 Naira at 18.202% interest rate, a whopping 18.202, which was advertised for the 3-year FGN savings bond for September 2024. And we get that you would have earned approximately 2.892 million Naira per year and approximately 723,000 Naira per quarter. That's per coupon. With FGN savings bonds, you get 4 coupons per year. You would have earned your first coupon on December 11, 2024, the second one on March 11, 2025, third coupon on June 11, 2025, and the fourth coupon, which completes 1 year, on September 11, 2025. If you invested in the September 2024 edition of FGN Savings Bond, I believe that by now you would have received your fourth coupon for the year. Remember, we're trying to cover 1 year, so 2 coupons from the domestic dollar bond and 4 coupons from this one, from FGN savings bond. To enable us compare the earnings from the 2 investments, we need to convert the earnings in Naira to dollars. There are 2 ways to do the conversion. One, you can decide to convert each coupon as they come in. In that case, I got the exchange rates on the days the coupons were paid and used that for the conversion. I know that they delay by 1 or 2 days, but this is good enough. So this was the exchange rate on December 11, 2024. This was the exchange rate on March 11, 2025, and so on. If you did that, you would have gotten about $469 on December 11, 2024, $471 on March 11, 2025, $467 on June 11, 2025, and about $480 on September 11, 2025, giving us a total of approximately $1,890 for the year. That's double what the person that invested in the domestic dollar bond earned. Now, let's say you prefer to wait and convert all your coupons at the end of every year. So we apply the September 11, 2025 exchange rate to a total of the 4 coupons, and you will get $1,922. You can see that the person that had the mind to wait for the 4 coupons to drop before converting got how much extra? $33 extra. Yay! I say have mind to wait because you guys know that in this floated Naira Tinubu era, you don't know what the Naira will be doing in the next minute, let alone tomorrow, let alone in 1 month's time. So for me, as soon as I notice that any day of strong Naira, that's when I'll convert, assuming I want to convert some money to foreign currency. That's the day I'll convert it and close my eyes. I don't care if it goes up again or goes down because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. I don't have a crystal ball, yeah? So even with the second way to convert, the person that invested in FGN savings bond is winning 2 times over more than the person that invested in the domestic dollar bond. Yeah, I mean, I said this last year. This is why I love interest-based investments. Before you enter, they will tell you the interest rate. You press your calculator. I did the basic calculation last year. So this should not come as a surprise to everybody that watched that video. We all saw it, just that the only if there was, what if you convert and when you're ready to take out your money, you can't convert back. But let me tell you, even I am not an advocate of repatriating your investments in Naira back to foreign currency. But in this case, you can see that even if you want to repatriate, you've won. In personal finance, you make a decision based on data. Look at the data staring at us here. Yeah, you don't make decisions based on advice you get from the internet. That is why I always say, whenever I start sounding like I am advising you, it's not what is happening. I don't advise. Data is what you should focus on. What I do is that I impart knowledge. I have lots of videos on this channel. There are lots of playlists that you can click and watch each type of instrument, yeah, on this my channel. If after watching all these videos and you still feel overwhelmed, you still feel that you're not getting what is happening, you don't know where to start, because yeah, I agree, it's information overload. All the things I'm sharing on this channel, I did not learn in 1 day. It took me 20 years to learn it. That's why I have a boot camp. Check the description box of my videos. You will see a link to a boot camp. The members of this community already know that there's always a boot camp running in the background. Whenever you're ready, you come, I'll hold your hand and lead you to investment paradise. Remember, I don't run investment schemes. I'll just teach you. Yeah, what you're paying for is for my time to teach you in details, and you get the opportunity to have a one-on-one with me, yeah? Looking at the data before us, you can see that the exchange rate was 1,589 Naira to $1 when you converted your dollars to Naira to invest in FGN savings bond. When it was time to convert back to dollar, the Naira has strengthened the bid, thereby giving you even more dollars. That's the part I could not predict on that day. So even while being an advocate of do not invest in Nigeria with the aim of repatriating the money back to strong currency later, do not do that. But in this case, even if you do it, you've won. You can also confirm all these things I'm saying, all these calculations, by plugging it into your own Excel. Plug it in there. Excel is important. You need to learn Excel in this life, not just for finance. I can categorically tell you that Excel is the #1 software I use on my laptop. Yeah. I use it in my day job. Yeah, contrary to popular belief, I have a job. This is why you see a video from me once a month. I have so much I want to share. It's just time. I don't have time to share. But if you stick around, you will learn a lot from me. Yeah. I'm going to talk about taxes. You know, all these tax talks going on in Nigeria. If you're investing in Nigeria, if you have family members in Nigeria, you need to be interested in this tax. Oh, they're talking about tax in Nigeria. It's not my business. I don't work in it. No. As I was saying, I use Excel for my family finance. I use it on this channel. You guys know that. In fact, there's hardly any video that I'll make that I'll not bring out the spreadsheet. Without Excel, you cannot plan. Without Excel, you cannot take action. Without Excel, you cannot monitor. Yeah. So I use it for all this. I use it to monitor my children, what my children are doing, you know, the progress they're making in different aspects of their life. I use it for family finance. I use it for scheduling. I use it for a lot of things. Without Excel, that's where I put my plans, life plans, to-do lists. Yeah, I use Excel a lot. There are lots of videos, there are lots of channels on this YouTube that will teach you Excel. Learn Excel for your own good. It's good for your career. It's good for your everyday life living. In your business, you need Excel. You need Excel. Learn it to intermediate level. And that's enough, because you can never finish learning Excel. I'm still learning. Sometimes when I need to calculate some things, I go to Google and find a formula and come and plug it in. But you have to first of all know how to apply formulas in Excel cells. At this time, I will normally ask you, what do you think? But this is as clear as daylight. The person that invested in FGN savings bond with the same amount of money won. Yeah, hands down, 2 times won. And remember, I compared it to FGN savings bond. I just wanted to compare bond to bond. If you compare it to treasury bills, you even make more money. I didn't want to use treasury bills because treasury bills has a maximum investment of 1 year. But the good thing about using FGN savings is it lasts for 3 years. So that 18.202% that you got for September 2024 edition is tied to that investment till 2027, right, when it will mature. It doesn't matter that now the interest rates for FGN savings bond and even treasury bills have reduced a little bit. It doesn't matter. You're tied to that 18.202% till maturity. And even if you want to repatriate the money, of course, repatriating the money, you have to pay all these bank charges and all that. Unless you're in Nigeria and you want to hand carry it. But remember, there's a limit to the amount you can hand carry without declaring it. So don't break that law. If not, they will take that money from you. But anyway, still let me know what you think about this investment. Let me know your opinions below. And with that, I'll say bye-bye. See you in my next video.